Hi, this is Ford Reagan.
And I'm Kelly McFrederick.
And we both work with Beach Natives with Remax Metro in St. Petersburg. And there's a lot of changes coming up, and everybody is very concerned about flood insurance. We're hearing flood insurance is a hot topic. So today, to kind of help ease the situation or spell everything out,
I'm on pins and needles about it.
Everybody's on pins and needles.
Yes.
So Kelly, when someone it comes to you, if you were to meet someone in the street, and they would say, Kelly, what's going on with flood insurance? What would you give them in a very short answer?
What we're looking at is we have different levels of flood insurance, but we have zones that are impacted more than others. The A and the V zone are actually the most affected right now. About 2% of our property owners. Those that are hit the hardest are what they call pre-firm, homes that were built before 1974 on a subsidized insurance rate, usually less than $1,000, sitting in a mid-grade house, meaning $150,000, $200,000 house, and understanding that if that home changes, meaning when we always tell, do not let go of your policy, keep paying now. If there's any kind of lapse of policy, or of course when it changes hand, those are not absorbed anymore by the new buyer. We know that. And so what we're finding out is their insurance rate is going to go up 20 to 60% possibly. We have a great example now of a house that's been on pre-firm, insurance rate less than $1,000, and what we're doing is doing provisional estimates of saying what can it be with the new buyer, and we're looking between $5,000 to $6,000, and how does that affect the value of the property of the same house?
And one other question I think that's real important. If you are a home buyer, and let's say you found the home that you like, and you want to buy this home, and you find out that it's a flood insurance, that it is requiring a flood insurance. For a customer that's in that situation, what would you tell them the first thing you need to do after you have selected your home and you realize flood insurance is required here?
Well, the nice thing is, what I'm really thrilled at, these are actually the new contracts, the new as-is contracts put out by the Florida Association of Realtors. So we are aware that we get to protect our buyer, and so do our new contracts. I'm really thrilled that we're here to help. Really, the first thing before we spend $450 doing the inspection, you got to really find out what that insurance cost is going to be. So, because within these new contracts, we're actually able to cancel the contract if that insurance is too high protecting. But as a selling agent, I would already know what on my own listing, I would know what that rate is going to be. We're sharing that ahead of time, letting that buyer telling my buyer immediately, let's go get a quote on the insurance and making sure it's something that will fit your budget. If you only qualify for this amount of payment per month and that flood insurance puts you out of that budget, you're not even a candidate. Let's work with something that you can. If not, let's get the house down to a price that's negotiable, saying I can now afford both. And we can always do changes to the house to hopefully lower some of that insurance rates.
Well, that's some very good points. So you just have to stop and think. A lot of changes are coming up. Be very alert in your communications with your buyer, your banker, your mortgage broker, because all of this comes together and it all equals a sum that is out of our control. And this sum you can work with your broker on and make sure that the house that you have found that you love, you will be able to afford it and buy it even with the flood insurance. So that's our.
And the flood rates are going to be changing.
And the flood rates are going
up.
Go
into this wide open, and make sure you work with people that understand flood insurance. All of this pile of mess on here, guess what? It's all due to flood. I got a big old mess because that's really what we're concerned about, is how can we help the buyer safeguard them and safeguard the seller too, making sure that we're all aware. Here's the mess of flood.
I guess
off to the Rays game.
I guess the thing here is that the water flood is creating a paper flood for us.
Yes.
So that's it. Go Rays. We'll see you later.
In the article in the paper. Thank you.